This material is made available to you by or on behalf of the University of Melbourne under Section 113P of the Copyright Act 1968. It may be subject to copyright. For more information, visit the University Copyright website.
One of the biggest changes in universities over the past 50 years has been the rise in the number of women, who now significantly outnumber men in university classes throughout much of the world. Some areas of study, though, still have more men than women. For example, engineering. And these areas tend to have higher graduate salaries. On average, women are now more qualified than men, but they are still paid less. When sociologists study continuity and change, and the link between self and society, one of the major questions they want to understand is what options are available to people? How did the social world emerge? And how could it be different? In other words, who wins and who loses from the way our society is organised? The inequalities in our society are not natural. They are made through social processes and informed by power. So when sociologists study racism, they begin with how we come to think of people as belonging to different races, to categorise ourselves and others by physical features, particularly the colour of our skin. When they study economic inequality, they ask how some jobs come to be seen as worthy of much greater remuneration, sometimes hundreds of times more than others. Studying race, gender and class have been central topics in sociology for many decades. And more recently, age, ability and sexuality have also become central topics. These categorisations are often deeply meaningful to us, part of our identity. But they can also be used to produce and maintain symbolic boundaries within society, usually to the benefit of the already advantaged. These divisions and the inequalities that are built around them can't be understood in silos. They interact with each other. Living in poverty is tough, no matter who you are. But it is a different experience depending on your age, gender, or whether you are from an ethnic minority. As sociologists, we live our lives in the societies we study. We are wrapped in our own identities and face our own set of opportunities and barriers. These experiences can be a powerful starting point to think sociologically, but we also have to attend to the limitations and assumptions that our own lives lead us to make. Sociologists call this reflexivity. The sociologist Elvin Gouldner says this: we, sociologists, must, at the very least, acquire the ingrained habit of viewing our own beliefs as we now view those held by others. This is more important than ever as sociologists aim to better recognise our global interconnections. The world is still a deeply unequal place. One of the key tasks for sociology is to trace how, but keep in mind that the world is also constantly changing. In fact, sociologists study how social movements bring about this change. The increasing number of women at university didn't just happen by accident. It was driven in large part by the feminist social movements. And the peace movement, that has pushed to end armed conflict. And the civil rights movement has pushed to end institutional racism and to increase social and political citizenship. Australia had its own civil rights movement. While Martin Luther King was leading marches in the USA, here in Australia, the Freedom Riders were travelling throughout country towns, protesting Aboriginal people's exclusion from clubs, swimming pools, cafes and theatres. Some of the leaders of these movements studied sociology. People change the world, and quite often they use a sociological imagination to do so.